Hey everyone, I am Ashley Bullington and this is the Campfire. Today, we are going to deep dive into District 10 5A Division 1. A lot has changed after realignment, and here are the teams who will be competing in this district. Angleton, Kempner, Friendswood, Fulshire, Magnolia, Magnolia West, Manville, Foster, and Terry. I find it interesting that the Magnolia teams are in this district. Those will be some long bus rides, but it'll make for some great competition on the gridiron. Let's analyze those teams in our film session. This district could be one of the most competitive 5A districts in the state. Gone is state champion Katie Pato and Hightower, but adding the Magnolia teams really spices things up. Magnolia West finished second behind state runner-up College Station, but have a ground attack to keep an eye out for. Magnolia was hit hard by graduation, but do return defensive newcomer of the year, Dylan Hayes. Manville finished 10-3, but was tied for first in the district. The Mavericks will have to replace both of their running backs, but quarterback Caden Smith returns to provide leadership. Angleton went a couple rounds deep in the postseason, and they will bring back running back Deshaun Thomas, who rushed for almost 800 yards last year. Richmond Foster has one of the top quarterbacks returning with J.T. Fayard. Fulshire was one of the surprise teams last year as they made the playoffs on the last game of the season. The Chargers will have Parker Williams back behind center, and his favorite target, Jax Medica, will be back as well. Rosenberg, Terry, and Kempner bring back solid defensive players in Elijah Sims for the Rangers and Cody Pham for the Cougars. Friendswood finished tied for first in their former district, but the road will be tougher here. Braylon Shelby should be a factor at the linebacker position for the Mustangs. This district should be a dogfight from start to finish, but don't take my word on it. Let's dig even deeper into 10 5A Division 1 with Houston Chronicle reporter John Poorman and producer Ward Fasold in our district breakdown.
All right, it's district breakdown time, 10-5A Division 1. We have John Poorman from the Houston Chronicle. John, this looks like a very tough district. Yes, they lose Pato and Hightower moving up, but they bring in the Magnolia schools, and it should be a pretty interesting district, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is one of the districts in the Houston area that I'm most excited to kind of watch and see how everything plays out. We have 6 teams in this district that made the playoffs last year. So it's going to be really interesting, in these head-to-head matchups, to decide those 4 spots. Only 4 of them are going to get back. Magnolia West, Angleton, Friendswood, Fulshire, and Manville were all in the postseason last year. Friendswood is coming over. They're an interesting addition to this one as well because they were a co-district champion along with Port Arthur Memorial last season in their district, and a tough district that they played in. Fulshire, of course, is a younger program, made the playoffs for the first time in program history last year. And then, you look at the others, Angleton and Manville, like you said, in that really tough district with Pato and Hightower. Obviously, those teams are moving up to 6A now and are a part of the mix, but Manville was actually the co-district champion with Pato and handed, the state champions their only loss of the season. So, and obviously, seeing what Manville has done in recent years and kind of their pedigree, what they're going to bring to the table. So, yeah, all across the board, you're looking at some really talented programs here, and definitely excited to see how it kind of all plays out.
We are moving on to 5A Division 2 next week, where we don't have that many teams, but we will get through the 2 districts that we do have and discuss it. So I appreciate you joining us, John. Well, I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
The guys had much more to say on this district, and you can catch the entire district breakdown this Wednesday on our social media platforms. We've heard about the teams. Now let's take a look at some of the athletes to watch out for and our players on the rise. At Magnolia, Hunter Andrews was co-district newcomer of the year at the running back position. At 6'2", Andrews stands upright while running and is able to find the holes easier to get those big yards. He didn't get the bulk of the carries in the Bulldogs run attack, but was still able to break off big gains. Look for Andrews to carry the load this year as Magnolia's feature back. One of the best quarterbacks returning in the district is Foster's JT Fayard. As a junior, Fayard threw for almost 1,700 yards and 16 touchdowns as the Falcons just missed out of the postseason. With a year as the starter under his belt, look for a big season from JT in 2022. He's received some Division I interest, but expect that to increase during his senior year. Manville always has some big-time defensive players, and this year is no different, with defensive back Jalen O'Neal. As a junior, O'Neal made 25 tackles and a pick for the Mavericks as quarterbacks stayed away from his side of the field. Jalen is a big hitter who makes sure his presence is felt on every play. Offensive coordinators need to be on the lookout for Rosenberg Terry defensive end Elijah Sims. He was a first-team All-District selection and finished with 7 sacks and 1 pick for the Rangers. Coming off the edge, Sims is a problem in the backfield because he has a nose for the ball carrier and almost certainly will bring him down. Great athletes in this district, but it takes great coaches to get the best out of them. Our Ward Fasol caught up with one of those men in our Media Day segment.
All right, it is Media Day. We are in 10-5A Division I talking with Coach James Britton of Angleton. Coach, I say this to every coach, it seems like in 5A Division I, it's a 9-team district, so you don't have much time before the games that count start. What do you feel about the district you have? You lost to Pato and Hightower, which is probably a good thing because they're doing quite well. But you gained a couple Magnolia teams and you gained Friendswood, who you took out in the playoffs. So talk a little bit about the teams you have in your district and what you think about it.
Yeah, you're right. You know, a 9-team district, you don't have a whole lot of room and a whole lot of time to hit your stride before district play starts. You know, so week 3. You're playing a district ball game, you know, and for us, week 3 is going to be Manville, you know, and so we know, right out the gate, we're going to get a good one early in the season. And our district is really competitive. You know, it's a good district and it's fun being in competitive districts like this. But we know there's only 4 playoff spots available and there's 9 really good football teams in our district, you know, and so you really have to show up each and every week. You know, it's important. When you're in 19 districts and you have the quality of teams that we have, that you have to peak early. You know, you can't wait to, hey, let's make sure we're peaking at week 8, 9, and 10 and moving to the playoffs. You got to be peaking at week 3 and 4 because if you're not playing really good ball early on, you know, you'll put yourself in a really bad position. And so we know that we're going to have to take advantage of every opportunity early in the season to make sure we're getting better. And when we get to week 3, we're ready to go.
Well, that's awesome. Well, good luck to you this year, and it's going to be tough powering through that district, but getting those top 4 spots, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the playoffs if that does happen.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. We're excited about it.
You can hear the entire interview with Coach Britton on our social media platforms this Friday. That's going to do it for this week's show. Be sure to join us next week as we move into 5A Division II, as we talk 9-5A Division II. You can keep up with everything on the high school football scene on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. Until next time, I am Ashley Billington, and thank you so much for watching the Campfire.